Today was a day I won't forget anytime soon. I spent an entire day with two strangers. The day began uneventful. The day before, I planned to shoot some street photos in Austin. I wanted to arrive early in the morning to try to take advantage of the better lighting. However, the sky was gloomy and the shots reflected that. I only spent about an hour or two. Walking back to my car, I decided to walk around the Capitol building. I thought, it'll only be a minute. I was admiring the magnificent circular rotunda of the Capitol when I came across a formal-looking Jewish man. I introduced myself, and we talked about some local events and our whereabouts. He told me he was from Florida, here for a convention. As we talked, I noticed this other dude walking by me. He had a camera, and I asked him if he wanted a photo. We struck up a conversation about some nerdy photography stuff. After our chat, we decided to go into the Capitol building. The inside of the Capitol was a sight to behold. I can see now why they say everything in Texas is bigger. It is. I think the part that stuck out to me the most is the architecture that calls back to a time long gone. The modern corporate rectangles are absolutely boring, and this is a welcome breath of fresh air. After walking around above, we decided to go down into the basement. The basement of the building was bleak compared to the picturesque building above. It was a maze of hallways. Apparently the congressmen were in session, putting our tax dollars to good use. Walking around aimlessly of this basement was kind of getting boring. We went out to eat. Talking to complete strangers is, well, it's something. You know that feeling of being anxious and confused? That was exactly what I felt. It was interesting to talk to these people, but I didn't feel like I belonged there. It was so alien to me. Even though the alarms were going off in my head, my heart did not care. I was talking to them about the things that bring me joy and the things that bring me fear. They reciprocated with their own fears and insecurities. We talked about worldviews, political events, society, women, anything and everything. After finishing our meals, we went out to the bridge in line with the Capitol. The sun cast an amber-colored glow on the water. It's crazy to think how interesting strangers can be. I don't remember their names, and they never asked for mine. Most people are truly alone. They have family, friends, and colleagues, all of that, but they're never really present. With the dawn of social media, many have checked out. People make an effort to plug into their phone, forgetting to plug into the real world. I'd have never talked to these people if I hadn't approached that one guy. I'd have never spoken to the other one if I hadn't taken his picture. There's a famous book called The Butterfly Effect. Never read it, but the idea is that seemingly small actions can have big consequences. My ability to be present, willingness to leave my comfort zone, I snowballed into an experience I'll remember for a while. How are we surprised that we have an epidemic of depression? Do you think that the people on the one cannibal island have depression? Hell no. They don't have time for that. They aren't your average Joe. I watched a documentary on them recently. They forage and hunt, they dance and sing, they live for their family. They experience their surroundings for what they are. Everyone can learn from them. Trust me, if you take a day, week, month, year off Instagram, Snapchat, whatever other social media you use, all the other average people will still be there. While you will go out. You will build skills, better yourself, and live more happily. Yes, you will stand out, and to some degree you might become lonely again, but beyond the mediocrity is a life worth living. By all means, many have contemplated ways in which to live life to its fullest. Hunter S. Thompson famously wrote, "If any part of it doesn't seem to make sense, by all means call it to my attention." I'm not trying to send you out on the road in search of Valhalla, but merely pointing out that it is not necessary to accept the choices handed down to you by life as you know it. There's more to it than that. No one has to do something he doesn't want to do for the rest of his life. But then again, if that's what you wind up doing, by all means convince yourself that you had to do it. You will have lots of company.